Hello, dear friends. Today I watched a program on cable TV called Tethers. Um, Tethers is a TV show, a reality TV show where two individuals are tethered together. That is, there is a 6 foot rope that connects them together, and they are meant to go into the jungle, into the wild, to look after themselves for like 10 days or thereabouts. And after 10 days, they'll be extracted from, the wild. And so today, the pair that went on board were these two individuals. One was an ex-military. He had done 2 tours in the U.S. Army in Afghanistan and Iraq. He was a real soldier, a real tough dude. And he used to take his family out. They used to go into the wild. Was very proud of his accomplishments as a soldier. And the other dude was just a normal guy. He had tattoos all over his body, but he practices yoga. And he was a spiritualist. He normally goes in before he respects nature. Before he cuts any tree, he would hug it, talk to it, and all that. So these two guys now went into the wild.
Take that one right there and put it across right here.
Having found food and water, Keith and Willow turned their attention towards shelter.
So I do think that the structure we have on the beach was a good idea to keep us up elevated off the ground. And I figured we'd continue building the shelter that we had already halfway finished last night because we already had 4 posts going.
Again, the tether has Keith and Willow at odds.
I don't know, man. Look at this. High tide. It's up here further than it was last night. I think we're gonna have to move a little higher up.
We don't have time. I want to get a shelter built, We already started building it. We're gonna just take off.
Look at this tide. It's coming in. We're gonna get washed out.
Keith is trying to push me around and tell me what to do. I want to become myself again. Become a free-spirited individual who makes my own choices. Not being able to make my own choice is basically like being a prisoner. If I gotta cool off, man, I'm gonna jump in the water, dude.
No.
I'm going swimming.
No. We're gonna get our shelter done.
It's gonna take me about 60 seconds. So you wanna fight me, you can fight me. But I'm going to swim.
I'm serious right now.
Let's go.
Whoa.
Ow!
Tethered. Get hooked October 5th at 10 on Discovery.
And while they were fending for themselves, there was something I noticed. The guy, the military fellow, with all the military experience, was finding it very difficult to cope. Whereas the other guy, who was a spiritualist, who was a yogi, who used to practice yoga, before they would cut down a tree, he would go and hug the tree. And before they would kill a snake, because they had to kill snakes, he would pray over the snakes and all that. He was more resilient than the military guy. And I was wondering, I was shocked. I was like, So it just got me thinking. We have to be more in tune with nature. We have to do yoga exercise. Like me, I love doing yoga exercise. It's something I have to get back into. So I'm encouraging us to go into the wild more, respect nature more, exercise more. Yoga exercises are very, very good. It builds a lot of resilience. And then another thing that I noticed about them was that when they were tethered together, it's more like they had conflicts. At times, the military guy wants to go into one kind of place. The guy would not want to follow the military guy. Like, for instance, they needed to jump from a high cliff down into the water. There were times like that. They were, in order to look for food, they may have to drag themselves around. And it just made me realize the kind of relationship we have with the Spirit of God, or the Spirit that is within us. Many a times, our spirit would want to do something or go in another direction. Our mind wants to go in another direction. But if there is harmony, we can achieve more. And at the end of the day, when both of them had finally gotten to their destination and they had reached the boat, the extraction point, when they had severed the rope that was holding both of them together, they were so happy. But at the same time, they loved each other, because during the process, they were quarreling, they were angry, but they had accomplished something. They reached the extraction point. They did not quit. So that is the kind of relationship I think that the Spirit of God and the soul of man has. There must be that symbiotic relationship, and with the body of man too. There must be that kind of balance for us to get to the promised land, for us to get to our goals. And even though when the rope was severed, these two guys were still happy with themselves. It was, it just says a lot about the human condition, the spirit and the soul of God, the soul of man and God. A wonderful experience. So anyway, let me just share that with you guys. Have a great day and stay blessed.